All right. Fourth one this week. Actually, we haven't recorded the third one yet, but we'll get to that one. So we originally going to see Need for Speed, but we looked at the times, kind of realized, you know what, this is pretty much out on its way out the door. So fuck it, let's go see Noah. So
also because, yeah, Noah just seemed like it was going to be a better movie.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah. But this is actually the first movie I think we've ever actually reviewed on opening day. So it's kind of a new territory for us. But go figure. Anyway, Noah. Not as bad as I was expecting.
Not as good as I'd hoped.
It still beat my It was very, very low expectations. Yeah. I thought this was going to bomb.
It was still decent. I mean, you know, I generally have hope in Darren Aronofsky.
What else has he done? Remind me.
Black Swan.
Oh, yeah. Not quite as my fucking it's Black Swan. Maybe this needed a lesbian love scene. Maybe that would have upped it up a little bit. There you go. Piss off all the Christians. Have a Noah movie with
Don't worry, Colbert made the joke first, so I'm sure he ticked him off first, along with this little other thing going on.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that. But, wait, you made the lesbian joke too?
Yeah.
I missed that episode.
Oh, it's on Thursdays, but we digress.
Yeah. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. It was still not a great movie because you and I both had the exact same problem with it. It's way too fucking long.
Yeah. They basically did the Hobbit thing where they added in a lot of stuff that didn't exist to try and flesh out the characters a lot and whatnot.
Well, I think that's you kind of.
Well, obviously, it's like what the original thing's like. What, 3-4 pages?
I don't know.
So it's like obviously they gotta add in a lot of content.
Obviously, as you expected that. You don't, but at the same time, you don't want the Son of God treatment where it's too by the book. So I'm okay with stretching it out, so to speak.
Yeah. Like, it was definitely interesting interpretation, I'll say that much.
No, it was actually, like, the parts that really kind of exploded were very, very interesting. There was also a lot of parts that were very, very fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't need to see, spoiler, the part towards the end with, Russell Crowe's pottery lessons. Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it. Although it's great joke fodder. I will say that. There's a lot of great jokes you can make out of this.
Yeah.
We were cracking up at a few points.
Anthony
Spiders.
Ew, a bug.
So, obviously, the movie's about Noah. Obviously, it's a very stylized, very artsy-fartsy, very great visuals. A lot of visuals are pretty fantastic. To give credit where credit is due.
Given the scope of things, I kind of needed those visuals.
Of course, I mean it's the story of Noah. It's huge, an epic story kind of thing. Originally, I was just kind of harping on the whole fact that all man is just pure evil, and not like all Noah's people are all good and kind to the earth and all that stuff. That kind of got to know me. There was like, then I kind of thought about it. I was like, yeah, it's pretty much how the story went. So yeah. I can't really be mad at that.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's kind of when they got to the middle, that's when they started fleshing everything out for the characters, and it made them a lot more interesting.
It did. Like, it fleshed out more the idea of how the other people kind of saw the world. And I thought, like, when it explores that, it's actually pretty interesting. The big issue with this is that, say what you will about Russell Crowe, love him or hate him, he is kind of just a dull actor. Just like, I mean, only once you have anything kind of resembling an emotional outburst.
Yeah.
Other than that, he just kind of has that same straight face the whole time, and that's not enough to really kind of carry that kind of larger-than-life character.
I felt he was just kind of doing his, you know, Liam Neeson thing.
Liam Neeson? Oh, Liam Neeson has more emotion than Russell Crowe. Come on. At least he'll actually yell at something.
Yeah, but it's like, but you kind of get the same idea. It's like he has that same kind of like stoicness throughout, like with the occasional.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed kind of bland to me, and I felt like the character, for a lot of the stuff they were trying to go for, I thought kind of required more emotion, I think. And if nothing else, it would have kept some of the boring bits from being as boring as they were.
Fair enough.
At least that's kind of why I saw it, because, like... you're subtle. Anyway, so it starts out, and there's, like... It introduces a lot of more fantastical elements that are just kind of... there.
Like science.
That's right. That's one I didn't want to bring it up, though, actually, because I'd actually appreciated that. Whereas, like, this movie, this Bible movie actually acknowledges evolution. I was like, That's actually kind of ballsy for a Bible movie. It was like, I don't think the Bible series even did that. So it's like, I was actually kind of impressed by that. Like, wow, you're actually acknowledging this. Either that, or I seriously missed that lesson in science class about the armadillo dog. Which I want one of those.
I was kind of laughing just like how they actually, they showed like cellulomitosis, the way the Earth kind of evolved and whatnot, and they get to the, the whole evolution thing, and then, you see like they get to like the apes and like the primates and whatnot.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was primates or monkeys. But anyway, they get the part, it's like, show it, and then man was made. They just jumped to man. Ah, you copped us out.
Well, to be fair, actually,
that would have ticked off a lot of people.
No, actually, that's actually a common conception of evolution. Is that we're not direct descendants.
Yeah, I know.
Monkeys,
It's from
monkeys.
actually hominids.
Yeah, it's more like Homo sapiens. There's a whole Homo family that we are actually originated from, not monkeys directly.
Yeah,
but
I know. It's like some weird like subspecies related to a subspecies related to another subspecies.
pretty much,
thing.
yeah. So, or go the South Park version. And this fish frog fucked another.
Yeah. And this fish frog had butt sex with another fish frog.
Not the first South Park joke we made about this movie. So
Russell Crowe and Tog are floating around the world.
It's actually kind of the climax, really.
No,
oh my God! It's Russell Crowe. He's got a tugger.
No, the part of marriage is laugh is like when he's singing the song to Emma Watson's character before she grew up.
Yeah.
It just all I saw was Tugger going insane before he shoots himself.
Okay, so let me take you back a few steps here. We'll get to that because it was pretty funny because that's all I could hear was the song in my head too. You know how that started, right? That whole joke is because I know I'm getting off topic. We'll actually talk about fucking Noah, but the joke was like Trey and Matt like actually were invited by Russell Crowe to his house, like listen to his album he just made, and they said it was like one of the worst things they ever heard in their life. So that's where that joke came from in the South Park episode. Anyway, so the movie starts with Noah as a little kid. Oh, by the way, I liked how the third brother of Adam and Eve gets a mention here, because he had Cain, Abel, and Seth. Seth is never fucking mentioned anywhere ever, except for this movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's like so.
It's like, and just like from Capcom and Sony, Seth Killian departed from. Wait, that's not that Seth.
Well, it's like, what's that joke from Portal 2 in the multiplayer? It's like, good job, you two. And just like Albert and his brother Steve, Steve Einstein, only one of you will be remembered. So
Pretty
anyway,
much.
so Noah is like the last descendant of Seth, who are like basically the good people, and all the other people descended from Cain, they're the bad people. And I'm pretty sure this part wasn't in the Bible, where Cain is helped out by what are called Watchers, who are fallen angels that came down to help Adam and Eve.
Yeah, basically it was just
Got
like
turned to the stone monsters from Dragon Age 2.
basically just happens like God's like Cain GTFO, and then he settled down with a woman and had kids, and that was it.
Which is always the one question: where'd the other woman come from?
I don't know. If we go by Bible logic, it's all incest.
Yeah, I'd rather not think about that too much.
No, you don't want to. You really don't want to.
You probably had butt sex with the frogfish.
Oh.
We're horrible people. We're gonna rot in hell. Anyway, so I'm gonna get so many angry messages from this. This is why we didn't review Son of God. It's to avoid the same thing, because I have no filter when it comes to these videos. So sorry for Vampire Academy, by the way, again.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need a reminder of that one later.
Anyway, so what was I saying? Yes, so it starts off with Noah's father being killed right before they do some E.T. shit with the snakeskin.
Oh.
I don't know what that was about. It's never explained.
Yeah.
Except
Phone God.
phone God, build ark, and I don't. Which is actually basically what happens after Noah grows up. Years later, after his father is killed by the main bad guy in the movie, who played him? He looked really familiar.
Nah.
Either way, he's basically like the descendant of Cain, who's got a serious, no pun intended, God complex thing, where basically he thinks he commands everything, or he deserves to command everything.
Yeah.
So years later, Noah's settled down. He's having his own little family. He has 3 kids. The 3rd kid is basically shoved into the blanket for the majority of the movie.
Yeah.
Where basically
it's like what's the way they describe the kids? It's like one's jealous, one's really wanting to get busy, and the other one aims to please, and the one who aims to please never shows up.
I guess he did his job well then. He didn't cause any drama, so I guess that actually makes him a good son. So we have the eldest, who's named Shem, and we have the one played by fucking Percy Jackson, which actually like gave me, and he also the biggest pain in the ass. So I thought it was kind of ironic. Named Ham.
And I swear to God, every time I heard his name, I just thought of that bit from Ponyo. Ham!
Oh yeah. Ham! We all made all kinds of jokes and like nostalgia critic jokes on this movie. So anyway, one day Noah gets this vision that says, oh, by the way, shit's about to go down pretty soon, so you might want to go to this big mountain thing where Anthony Hopkins is hiding.
Yeah.
And I was surprised Anthony Hopkins was in this movie, by the way. I was not expecting that.
I completely forgot. I saw him in the trailers and I just completely forgot.
Yeah, so did I. So I was like, oh, hey, is that Anthony Hopkins? Cool, okay. So they go off and they go on this long, perilous journey down to what I can only assume is like Death Valley. But on the way, they meet like this old mine of some mineral that word they just made up, pretty much. It's like golden shiny rock. What does golden shiny rock do? Where's it gone? We're not gonna fucking answer that.
Yeah.
It went the fate of the armadillo dog. That's the only thing I can assume. So they meet this little girl who's like apparently got left behind there. I don't know. Either way, she's...
No, what happened was there was a raid in which this like group of nomads got attacked and all killed except for her.
But she has a mark, means she's barren, which in no way will be addressed.
No, she wasn't marked. She got stabbed.
She got stabbed. Well, that's what I meant by marked. But anyway, she got stabbed, and that means she'll be barren. She'll never have kids, which is in no way going to be reversed at some point over the course of the movie. Yeah. So anyway, they run away from these bandits that come chasing shortly thereafter. They're in the canyon somewhere. They're hiding. Oh, right, that's right. They get captured by the Watchers, who are in this like Death Valley area. One of which, I swear to God, is played by that guy who sounds like a bear. From the Hulk, the Ang Lee Hulk. He played the bad guy.
Josh Lucas?
Didn't that sound like...
Oh, no. Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte. Didn't it sound like Nick Nolte? Not the one that helped.
No, I know what you're talking about. That would explain that.
It sounded a lot like Nick Nolte. Either way, so they said like they abandoned God, so we're gonna leave them here. And then, but of course, I was sent by God. It's like, okay. But before one of the Watchers decides to help them out, they're in the canyon. They're sleeping, and the girl can't sleep. And that's when we get to the part where we both start cracking up at a very inappropriate time, because it's a very serious, like, dramatic moment where it's just, sing to me, and I couldn't resist. I lean over to you, go, Russell Crowe and Taka fighting around the world, and that's all both of us could hear. And that's all we can imagine is just the tugboat in the background, like trying to hang himself as Russell Crowe singing this very dramatic Jesus song. Not Jesus song, obviously, but God song, which again comes endless. And when Emma Watson was singing at the end, that's all I could think of too. Her singing to her kids, Russell Crowe and Taka flying around the world. Jesus Christ. No, Jesus didn't come from many centuries later.
That is true.
God, we're horrible people.
And just thinking, if it did go the same way as South Park, that would have taken care of the kid issue, which we'll get to later on in the story.
I'm trying to figure where you're going with that, but we'll figure that out.
Well, let's just say it has to do with what Noah's assumed to be his task near the end.
Oh, yeah. You think? I don't know.
He wouldn't have had to do anything. The kids would have done it themselves.
Oh, you're a horrible person. You know we're both gonna die, and God's gonna look at us and go, hey man, I was gonna let you into heaven, but then I watched your Noah review. And that shit's just not okay, so we're gonna have to go. Boom. Hey. Satan's gonna be down there. I thought it was hilarious.
Does that mean you'll go easy on us? Oh no, that means I have to make it even worse for you.
This is what you get for voting for Nader.
but I voted for Obama. Heresy!
We're horrible people. You're so bad.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, God. So, one of the Watchers helps him up to the giant green mountain where Anthony Hopkins is hiding.
Yeah.
And
Basically helps him interpret the visions as
hey, we need to build a big-ass boat. That's pretty much.
God's gonna flood everything.
But I don't know, I always thought these visions would be easier if God is like, dude, it's God. Here's what you need to do.
Oh, that, apparently, the reason they didn't do that is because they're basing this off the Hebrew translation of the text.
Either that or they just couldn't get Morgan Freeman.
No, really. Actually, well, this is on the Colbert Report episode I was watching, which they did joke about. It's like, they're saying that, the way, they use a certain word that, basically translate to vision versus our translation, which is like a literal talking to him.
I'm just saying, I think it's like there's movie law now that there's no version of God that is acceptable to play in theaters anymore that is not played by Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I think that's why they didn't do that. That's my personal opinion. But I don't know. Anyway.
And that just would have been awkward.
I'll say, tell it to Jim Carrey you said hi years from now. Anyway, so then they basically start, all the other Watchers come up, they're convinced all of a sudden, oh, hey, you are really the Jesus, really the God guy, so we're going to help you out now. And then years later, all the kids are grown up, and it's played by Percy Jackson, Emma Watson, and all the other people. And basically from there, lots of animals come.
Yeah, they spend about an hour building a boat.
Yeah, pretty much. And not a single boat joke was made by either of us, unfortunately. Although there's the obvious one.
Yeah, outside the Tugger thing.
Outside the Tugger.
Sorry, I'm just imagining the ark shooting itself. And it's the entire thing sinks with Noah and his family and all the animals.
The hell is wrong with you? So there's the other joke where it says like all the snakes, like all the animals start coming in twos, all one by one as they get pouring in. And there's the part where like all the snakes come in twos, like even the snakes, even those that slither may enter, or some ridiculously.
Even those everything that slithers and everything that crawls.
Yeah, so, couldn't help but was like, wait till they get the Legion of Spiders. So
I'm gonna get those things from Australia. Oh dear! Oh!
As they tower over Russell Crowe.
Yeah. Are you gonna fit on this boat? It's like Godzilla.
You know that scene in A Bug's Life when he enters the city for the first time, you see the giant like Dandelion Lake crawl over him?
Yeah.
You think you're gonna get that scene in this movie?
And that would have been those Australian ones.
Anyway. So, but also, they have attracted some attention because all of a sudden they have this forest that came right the fuck out of nowhere, literally. Just all of a sudden they planted a seed that was the last from like Eden or something like that, and all of a sudden, just boom, giant forest. Here we're gonna use the build an ark. Have fun, guys. Which of course attracts attention of big evil Kane King dude, who all of a sudden looks at Percy Jackson, go, you're just obnoxious enough to be my evil henchman. Which, there's always one of these dumbass kids in every one of these fucking movies where it's like, who do we have around that can make the dumbest possible decisions and do the worst possible things for everybody involved? Oh, Percy Jackson. All right.
Yeah, it's like he has a great sense of integrity.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, it's like he did at the end, but it's just like throughout, he's just like,
I really want to get laid.
Yeah.
Is basically what he gets.
That's all I saw. It's just like, oh god, what was all the things?
I mean, granted, if my dad ruined my first and only chance to get laid, I'd probably be a little pissed off too. But that being said, we'll get to that part. I was actually surprised they did that. I didn't think they were going to go that route.
Yeah.
But that one caught me off guard, I will admit.
I'm not gonna lie, it was also, speaking of which, it was also awkward seeing Emma Watson make out with the other guy who was playing Shem. It's just because it was like, that's basically your adopted sister, dude.
Gotta make do, man.
Yeah, no, it's like, obviously, it's just like, in that first, it's just like, this is it was a little mildly awkward with that connotation in my head.
Fair enough. Yeah, I could see that. For me, it's like, hey, they're not technically blood related.
Yeah, they aren't. So it's like, nothing wrong with this. Just given the family dynamic, earlier was definitely just a little creepy.
And well, it's worse, when we get to the part with Anthony Hopkins. We'll get to that part too. But it's also worth noting Anthony Hopkins has a thing for berries. There's a reason I'm mentioning that. We're gonna get to that because we both laughed pretty hard at this moment. So. Anyway, they both know that shit's about to go down pretty soon. because the king dude's making an army to fight off all the Watcher guys that are protecting the Ark. Percy Jackson really wants to get laid. Emma Watson's on mope because she can't have kids. Shem is actually just kind of chilling out. And other kid is just nowhere to be found.
Like, seriously, it felt like he wasn't even on the boat and he just happened to reappear once.
I just we're also gonna go, no, everyone, I want you. When'd you get here? Yeah. You know, were you still around? Okay.
It's like...
Anyway, you were saying? You good?
Yep.
Okay. Naturally, Percy Jackson tries to go to the city because he gets all mad at his dad and he gets all angsty and shit, which really annoyed me. And he goes off to the city with all the bad men who trade their women for food and they eat everything. Nom 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 nom. That's basically how it goes.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I always feel like it's almost kind of hypocritical to make a movie where it's bad to eat animals when that's all we fucking do.
Yeah, but what do you think about it? I mean, that was just one of those biblical points. The whole we have to care for Mother Nature and that stuff.
That clearly panned out well in the years in the future. Now we still just eat fucking everything. But you know, different times. I was willing to give this movie a lot of leeway because, like, okay, there's a cultural thing here. I'll go with it. And obviously, if it takes place in modern day, I'd be significantly more pissed.
Yeah.
But also, I'd have a lot more questions. Like, for example, it's like, didn't we already do this? Was Evan Almighty? That's the real Noah story right there. Wanda Sykes and Steve Carell. What could possibly go wrong with that?
Oh, don't forget Jonah Hill.
Oh, and John Goodman. Why did they drag him into that? Anyway.
I don't know.
Oh, bitch, that's a movie to bitch about for another time. So, starts to rain. Shit starts to go down. Percy Jackson found himself a woman in a hole, which is always the best place to find women, apparently. And you kind of think, oh, okay, he got a woman now that he just met and is now in love with. Sure, why not? Takes her, starts taking her to the Ark, but she runs into a bear trap on the way. And I thought they were gonna do what she did with, like, Emma Watson's character. It was like, Noah's gonna take her and she's gonna take her into the Ark and make her better all stuff. No, Noah grabs his son, looks at the horde of men running towards him, runs away and just leaves her to get trampled by all these guys. I was like, whoa, Noah's kind of an asshole.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, I understand why he's doing, but yeah, I still have that. Couldn't you at least tried?
Yeah, I know. Noah's like, nope, she's gonna die.
Nope.
Like,
I did all I could do.
All I could do is like, no, bye.
Yeah, I did all I could do by pulling my son away.
Yeah. So naturally, Percy Jackson gets a little pissed off.
Yeah.
And
my dad saved me from death. I hate him.
I'm gonna mope around for the next fucking hour more of this movie. Which, like, you think the movie would end after the flood, and even the movie kind of speeds the flood up a little bit. It starts raining. There's a big epic battle scene with all the Watchers are dying and getting killed up, and then the king dude fights his way onto the boat. And you think, like, okay, it's gonna end with the final battle between the king and Noah, and they're gonna sail off. It's gonna be happily ever after, or whatever goes on. No, we still got a fucking hour to go, bitch. So buckle in. But even after, like, all the rains go, all of a sudden, after the last fallen dude dies, all of a sudden the water just starts gushing out of the ground. Like, even God's like, all right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
And of course,
patience is a virtue. Unfortunately, I just ran out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. So. He's killing everyone. He's got to be on a time clock, you know?
Yeah.
And granted, like, at first, it was kind of interesting, kind of exploring the aftermath of, like, what Noah had to do. And I guess, like, again, if it was a more capable actor playing the role, I felt like it could have been very interesting. It could have been very interesting. And some parts of it were very interesting. There were also a lot of more parts that dragged on way too long.
Yeah.
Were way too boring. And it was like, dude, wrap this up, man.
Yeah.
I want to go home. I have other things to do today. But turns out, shortly before the flood goes in, Anthony Hopkins is still in the fort. He's looking for berries. And Emma Watson comes in. She's looking for Ham, who's disappeared into the forest, where he finds his woman in a hole. That's not what I meant.
Yeah. Long story short, gives her birthing powers again per request of the mother. I'm not sure why that just never happened to begin with.
Reasons.
Yeah, they never met.
Yeah, so go figure. Either way, Emma's made fertile again, and just as the flood.
Oh, God!
This is the part we laughed at. Yep.
It's like
just as the floodwaters come in, Anthony Hopkins finds his berry, picks it up, looks down.
No, that's not what I was laughing at. I was laughing at the fact that Emma Watson and Shem decided to do it.
Oh yeah, like,
ending do.
Literally right after Anthony Hopkins like, okay, you're gonna have children now, go out and play. He finds Shem and they just start making out and having sex right there. It's like, and then after they get back to the Ark, they're smiling like we just had sex look, and Noah goes, where's Ham? And they go, oh shit.
And it's like, and just the fact is like, wait, the world's about to end, and okay, I can understand why you want to do it, but really, you have a boat to do it on.
Oh, Dad's right over there, and you don't want to do it on the snakes. That's just weird.
Well, you saw how huge that boat was? They didn't even spot the guy hiding out within it.
Yeah, that's another little plot hole right there. Which, by the way, now I'll get to that, because that's another little plot hole that bugged me, too. Now, I want to talk about Anthony Hopkins a little bit here, because the way he went out was awesome for Anthony Hopkins, because he finally finds a berry. He's the most calm man in all the world. And then he looks up, sees his impending doom, looks at the berry, goes, okay, might as well enjoy this, chokes it down, and then just goes, okay, I'm ready. And then boom!
He just got Wicker Man by Mother Nature.
So I was like, you know what? I kind of respect him for that a little bit. Like, just totally accepts it. No, like, oh shit, just okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was also thinking of 2012 in that part, the way Woody Harrelson went out.
I never saw 2012, but
I only saw chunks of it. That was one of them. Thank God I didn't see more.
I know the big plot hole with the explanation they have for global warming, which is it's actually pretty hilarious. I'll get back to the topic at hand, but I saw a comedian was talking about it. It goes, it's like to set the scene. It goes, there's this scientist who runs up to the other scientist and goes, we had some major developments. And he goes, no, what's going on? And he goes, the neutrinos have mutated and they're heating up the planet. And he goes, now for those who don't know, neutrinos are incredibly microscopic organisms that make up all the matter in the universe. They can't fucking mutate. It doesn't work that way. You might as well look at the camera and go, the neutrons are angry.
That might explain what happened here.
There you go. So the electrons, that was it. Anyway, so I was talking about, oh yeah, so now they're on the boat, and it turns out, oh my goodness, what good news, Emma Watson is pregnant. Oh, it's like, that's a miracle, oh my goodness. And how does Russell Crowe handle it? No! Me angry, this is how angry men behave.
It's like God didn't want this. He wanted us all to die over a very long extended period of time.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that point, he goes Noah the savior to Noah the fucking psychopath.
I know. I was like, I kind of feel like you may not know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's like God gave him a fucking instruction manual. Like, by the way, if you get pregnant, chill out. It's gonna be okay. Yeah. But either way, so he's convinced that he's gonna need to kill the children when they're born.
If they were daughters.
If they were daughters. So of course, guess what happens? Yeah. And by the way, weren't they only on the boat for like 40 days and 40 nights, something like that?
Yeah, I was like, how did she go through like miracle pregnancy time?
Yeah, I was gonna think, it's like, I don't think approximately like 40 days and 40 nights does not accumulate to 9 months. Granted, maybe human biology
it accumulates to, I think it was literally just 40 days. And they even say at one point, it's like, how long's it been? Days, weeks? And someone's like, yeah, it's been 30 days. It's just like...
So
I don't think she even hit her first trimester. Then all of a sudden,
so did biology just work differently back then, or maybe Anthony Hopkins had some magic,
which I wouldn't
baby powers?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
it's Anthony Hopkins back in the day. It was like, hey, pregnant. All right. I don't know if that's true. Probably not. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm sick, so my mind's a little foggy. That's why I'm rambling for the majority of this. And there's just all the God jokes you can make out of this, and all the reasons I'm gonna burn in hell are just too many to avoid. So that whole drama takes up pretty much the last third of the, like, not even the last third, the last half of the movie, where Russell Crowe has a trial of faith. Of course, he doesn't go through with killing the kids, obviously, but meanwhile, Percy Jackson, well, jackass, is helping the evil King dude, who's so obviously evil that he basically emanates it from every pore in his body.
Yeah.
But he's still helping him, and he's just grabs an animal and he starts eating them.
Yeah, he grabs a snake and just starts eating it like beef jerky.
And he goes like, dude, don't do that. That's a big no-no. Guy's like, we control all the animals. It's like, this is like, we're mad. We're meant to eat all these things, basically. He goes,
so, yeah, want some jerky?
pretty much. And he just goes along with it. Like, okay, that makes total sense. Sure.
Yeah.
It's like we went through all this trouble or anything.
Yeah. And then you're going to have to kill your father because...
He's basically gone nuts. Which,
I was like, he killed your father because it makes you a man. I don't see how, but okay, I'll take part in this.
well, to be fair, they did kind of explain that, where it's like he wants to kill your nieces, your possible niece or nephew.
There's that. Like, he did find a way to manipulate it, but
it's like that. For that logic, I can understand that, because Noah at this point has clearly gone off his rocker.
yeah. But of course, the main point was, more importantly, he let that girl you just met die. And you totally wanted to bang her.
You ruined your one and only chance to get laid. You just have to spend the rest of your time with Pamela Henderson for the rest of your life. You can use the snake. He's passed out.
Oh, God.
Jerky. I'm gonna burn into special hell.
I just don't want to think about that. Oh, God.
American Pie, Noah edition.
Oh, God. I'm just thinking of Clerks 2.
Oh, God. What is wrong?
But this doggy's a dude! Killing him be a boy's. Oh, God. Ugh. I also like their explanation for for how the animals didn't kill each other.
What was that?
They were all baked.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. So basically, all drug with smoke the entire time.
Yeah.
With their magic golden glowy rocks, which is never explained what the hell those are.
They had some plant thing that they were burning, so it just like emanate some weird incense thing. It is like, although when I thought about it, I was like, why weren't they knocked out from it?
God. That's the answer to everything here. God. Answer to life in general. Not actually, that depends on your viewpoint, but that's another topic.
Yeah.
I don't want to turn into that. God knows I've already pissed off enough people as it is. I'm actually surprised you don't get more complaints now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's still shocking. The thing that got the most complaints was you not liking Anchorman of all things.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we make all these messed up jokes and that's what people get pissed off at?
Go figure. The internet is weird.
Yeah.
That's why we're on it. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So naturally, he doesn't kill the kids. Kane has their final show off with Noah. Percy Jackson finally grows some balls and kills the evil Cobra King.
Here's the thing I laugh at. The fact that Russell Crowe's about to kick this guy's ass, and then all of a sudden his other son comes in to kick his ass to protect his own. It's like, you don't see the unknown guy who was threatening your family earlier?
Yeah, it's like, how did anybody miss this? He wasn't even really hiding that well. He was just down below.
He was like in the furthest top area or something.
It's because with the snakes. Like, dude, I want you to kill the snakes. Where'd all the snakes go? They were a bunch here we left off. Where'd they all go? Rattler? So, of course, they find out that, oh, there's land now. So now they're all happy and free, and Noah learns that, it wasn't being punished by God. He was given a choice whether man was worth saving or not.
Yeah, it was basically, he got the Abraham test.
Yeah, so naturally, he gives the blessing to the children. A big rainbow appears. Ham goes off somewhere.
Yeah, no one cares.
To find the snakes. I don't know. And then big giant circle rainbow aura thing appears that says, hey, God likes this.
Yeah.
And then movie ends happily ever after. Oh, that's the other thing that bugged me. People don't fucking age in this movie. Facial hair is not a good indication of age change movie. You can't just make Russell Crowe's hair gray and assume to make us think he's older.
In all fairness, Jeremy Connolly has not aged at all. In real life.
Point. And I guess neither is Russell Crowe now you think about it.
Yeah.
Maybe they just found the immortals. Percy Jackson fucking ages, he better.
Yeah.
Technically he's a Greek god, or demigod, or whatever the... Oh, fuck it, I don't care. fuck that movie. So yeah, that's Noah in a nutshell. You're welcome. We just saved you 3 hours. Or at least what felt like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's only 2 hours and 18 minutes. Okay, not only. I'd say only is an hour and a half. Standard is 2, but this felt like it went way beyond that.
I feel like you could easily cut this into an hour and a half movie. Or at least at the maximum 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like after that, it's like, okay, seriously. Even Peter Jackson's like, dude, wrap it up.
Yeah.
So trailers then. Oh, we got some doozies. First one, I want to send this trailer to Wes just to piss him off. First one we got was Hercules.
I want to watch it.
Johnson.
I want to watch it just because The Rock's in it, but I want to avoid it because Brett Ratner's directing it.
Yeah, I know. It's like, hey, you know what's really good with Greek mythology? Brett Ratner.
Hercules. Also, just the end of the trailer when he screams.
All I can think of, though, is just him going, "Kram! To hell with you!" But it's like, you know, it's more faithful to the legend than fucking Legend of Hercules was.
Ironically, this is meant to be a quote-unquote more grounded tale.
I mean, Legend of Hercules, that had a 50-foot lightning penis sword. There's no going past that with a. You can't go back from that. There's no going back. So this movie actually has a lot to live up to. I don't know if it's gonna have a 50-foot lightning penis sword, but I can hope.
Well, at least it kills Scar.
Oh yeah, Disney reference. I get it. At least it actually has the fucking monsters from the fucking Legend, the fucking Hercules movie about fucking Hercules. I know I just dropped a lot of F-bombs there, but that really annoyed me. And the last one, because like Wes described it best. It was like, hey, how do you take this Greek legend and make him into movie? What do you drag into it? Egyptians. That was Legend of Hercules. There was more Egyptian mythology than there was Greek mythology. That's how bad it was. Yeah, I know I swear too much. Anyway, so next one. This is the second time I actually got this trailer with Single Moms Club 2. Was Get On Up?
I did not see the trailer. I definitely want to see that.
It actually looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know what it's like. It looks like it has a capable cast.
Yeah.
Like there's always those biopic movies where there's always the concern where they kind of inflate the main character up a little too much and then deflate everyone else around him. I don't think it's gonna go that route. It looks promising.
It's James Brown. I mean, how can he go wrong?
Never say never. Never tempt fate that way.
Right.
And this one I got it straight before, but it was a while back. Is Heaven Is For Real, which
did we see that? Or no, I may have saw it with another buddy when it's on nonstop, but it's just like.
No, I saw it with Amber on Labor Day, but that's the only time I've seen it. I don't know. There's a weird God theme going on so far this year.
Yeah.
With Son of God, God Isn't Dead, Noah.
Heaven Is Real.
Heaven is For Real. That's 4 God movies in the past 3 months, like past 4 or 5 months of the year alone. So go figure. I don't know. It looks kind of like one of those so charming, makes me want to puke a little bit inside kind of movies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My hopes are not high necessarily. A couple guys are gonna leave it next to us. All right. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really hopeful for that one.
Same here.
So next one we got is Bears.
That was the other joke of the. I forgot about that joke, but we'll explain that afterwards.
Disney Nature's Bears. It looks like a bear documentary. Not much more to say about it than that.
Pretty much. And just when we saw that, there was like this shot of bears that looked exactly like one of the shots in the trailer.
Oh yeah,
and we just both thought,
like Disney's Bears. Yeah. Like very much popping up on the screen, coming next month or whenever it's being released.
And were we just also making like a bunch of cracks of like titles involving bears?
Which ones? Oh yeah, it's like Disney's Brother Bear 3 or Country Bears 2
or Jack the Bear 2. There's a real fucking bear this time.
Nice. I prefer that documentary about the guy who tried to live on the bears and theorized that bears have a capacity for sympathy, and then one of them eats him. Which still stands one of the best comedy punchlines of all time. Anyway, so that's...
Yeah, I was like, I want to see the Stephen Colbert version where he just, like, makes me look like the biggest monsters of all time.
That's true, like, I thought they were gonna do that scene in this movie where all of a sudden like they start making an army. The bad guys start making an army. He goes, "We're gonna be ready for him," and blah 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 blah. And all of a sudden you turn around, giant fucking ass bears right there. I thought that was how the bad guys were gonna die. They're always gonna get eaten by bears.
Yeah, but no, they just walk by and they leave the bears alone. It's like, wait, you eat meat, yet you decided not to even try and kill them.
I'm pretty sure they killed quite a few of them because they see them trading meat later, but I'm assuming that's where that came from. But maybe, I don't know. Either way, that would have been awesome. Just all of a sudden, just fucking bears. That's how the movie ends. And next one we got was Draft Day. I don't know.
I remember by the end of basically all about the Cleveland Browns like doing some inspirational drafting. In the end of the trailer they always go, "Jack, you're not gonna believe this." I just thought to myself, we're still a terrible team.
Well, you got Kevin Costner leading you. That kind of leads you to your trouble right there. I don't know what they slipped him at the end though. I actually saw him smile, so I don't know what they did.
So we were saying Dennis Leary and Frank Langella in there.
Oh yeah.
So
last one we got Transformers 4. Hey, it's got fucking dinosaurs. You got that going for it.
Yay, Dinobots.
Come on, that's Optimus Prime riding a dinosaur. That's gotta be worth something. It's like every guy's fan fiction come true.
Oh my god, I feel like they ripped that idea off from Futurama. Remember?
Oh yeah!
Robot evolution!
I don't want to live on this planet anymore. There you go, folks. That's how we wrap it up. Transformers 4 is an episode of Futurama.
Where they find the link between robot creationism and robot evolution.
Mark Wahlberg, I think if I had a Transformer, bite my shiny metal ass. We're having way too much fun today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, final thoughts?
You know, it was a decent movie. Obviously, it was set overlong. I mean, they did try, they tried to, you know, actually give the characters personalities. Like, they gave them each their own faults and their, like, positive attributes.
Except for third kid, who's
just never existed. Yeah, he just tries to please everyone. By not existing?
Yes. Absolutely.
Even the villain, they found a way to give him some depth, which I was actually impressed with. Even if it was kind of a little wavy, kind of like with Noah and his being a just individual, being a complete psycho.
Yeah, I was like, cure the children. Yeah.
I was like, I feel like they're making a commentary on fun.
Well, now I know where to put the commercial break. My bad. I forgot to clear out the memory again. We got 40 minutes of review, 5 minutes of commercials for 1 minute of final stuff. Yeah, so, what you were saying, final thoughts?
Movie was decent. It was way too long with, I mean, just kind of focusing on a bunch of not important nothingness.
Yeah.
Like in quite a few areas, but I appreciate that they actually gave the characters some depth. You know, they tried to flesh them out, but they gave them, you know, kind of unique personalities, you know, each one giving their own positive, negative attributes. Okay, despite the whole Russell Crowe being dull thing, I will say, you know, on the whole, it was still very well acted in general.
Yeah.
Great visuals. I mean, which they used... Like, they used to, you know, actually accentuate the story, not, like, needless...
Yeah,
crap, save for the giant stone monsters that wanted to be Transformers bashing everyone.
Yeah, like the part where he tells a story about creation was actually very effective.
Yeah.
And first off, it actually acknowledges evolution.
Yeah. So the fact they actually did, you know, show, like, not as a literal day, but kind of like the interpretation of, like, a day for God is like...
God knows how long.
Yeah, millions of years for us.
Which I like that they actually acknowledge that. I like that they approached that. I would pretty... I'm sorry, were you done?
Probably wasn't, but my mind blanked out, so...
Fair enough. I would pretty much agree. I'd say the visuals are pretty good. It is definitely too long. You can cut out a lot of fat from this movie, for sure. I like that it's a very different approach to the story, and I like that I took a lot of risks with it. Yep. That's very appreciated. Like I said, I like how they fleshed out a lot of the characters. I wish he had a stronger actor for the lead character. And I felt like it probably could have done away with some of the action scenes too, to be honest. Because it felt kind of out of place, especially towards the end.
Yeah.
But overall, it's nice to see people take risks with classic Bible stories rather than doing kind of like the by-the-books number that you would ordinarily expect, like Son of God. Sorry, I have to say it. But,
and of course, not too many people are happy with these little liberties, but,
You know what? We know the story.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like... And given, it's one of those quote-unquote up for interpretation things, I like the route they took with it.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting or nothing else.
Like, it tried to... Like, it was basically like a merger of believable ideas with, the fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. And from that perspective, it's very interesting. If I felt like they focused maybe more on that and cut out some of the fat, like, towards the second half, you could have a very, very fascinating exploration of his time period, or at least what the cultural beliefs of it and stuff like that. As well as introduce, of course, some of the more fantastical elements and actually acknowledgement of evolution coexisting with the biblical universe, which is something, quite frankly, we don't see very often.
Yeah.
So that in itself is refreshing. So there's a lot of stuff I liked about this movie, some stuff I didn't like. It's 10 times better than I was expecting. I thought this movie was going to suck. So, yeah. That's my mark on it. Take it as you will. So, you know anything else?
Not really. I mean, I think we hit all the nails on the head. It's like, yeah.
All right. So in that case, we'll be back sometime next week for something or another. I don't even know anymore. I think we got Captain America coming up next week.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. So I'll see you all then, whenever that may be.